for Carnival Cruise Lines. I do sales for them. I've been with Carnival for about 3.5 years, and I work on the phone, mainly on the phone. About 95% of my work is over the telephone, making reservations and keeping a good relationship with these guests throughout the years, throughout the time. And a big part of my job is communication. I deal with a lot of different guests on a daily basis, and I get to talk to these people over and over. And so listening is a very important part of this whole process. Chapter 5, it's on listening, and I thought, well, this is great because that's what I do. I've been practicing different techniques to improve my listening since I started working there. I still do to this day. I still catch myself and force myself to be a better listener in a lot of ways. I used to jump into things. I used to just, sometimes cut the person off to maybe share my point of view or to complete, a sentence. And I've changed that a lot. I catch myself when I have the urge to respond, to say something, I'll hold the thought and hold back, and then, wait till they're done. So that's one thing that I've changed myself. Now I notice more. I see people that when I'm talking, they're the waiting listener, as the book wants to call it, or they are the thought-completing listeners. They complete your thoughts for you before you're even done, or they're always just wanting to attack or waiting to say the next thing. So those are some of the concepts that the book talked about. I've learned to, kind of listen for a lot of cues that people give you. When people don't really know what they want, or when they're telling you their preferences, you really have to listen. There's no nonverbal communication, or very little nonverbal communication. I don't really think there's any, because it's over the phone. So I don't get to see these people. I don't see where they're looking at, their hand gestures or face gestures. So I can't really read that. I have to rely solely on their voice, what they're telling me. So I have to be very, very attentive to what they're saying, so I can, be a better service to them and assist them in finding the right cruise, and of course to making them feel comfortable with me so they can buy from me, because ultimately that's what I do. I do sales. So it's really hard for me. I'm on the computer a lot of times. I'm looking, on the system for rates, promotions. I'm looking at their, where they live, their previous history with the cruise line, if they've ever been. And while I'm multitasking, it can be very easily to get distracted and to kind of go, yes, but I don't want them to feel like I'm just, going along and not listening to them. And I have to catch myself a lot of the times and stop myself from being a bad listener and be a good listener and ask them and reassure them or repeat what they're saying so they know that I am engaged in the conversation. So that's part of the listening. I think it's an acquired skill. I really think listening, it's not easy, and I think that you have to be willing to be a better listener and actively, take steps to become a better listener and a better communicator overall. And yep, those are my thoughts on listening. That I would share that with you.